Ha! Welcome back, guys. The origin of heroes. Read a passage out of this book. I got inspired, and I wanted to share it with you guys. You'll be kind of surprised about who wrote this. I would have never expected this person to write it the way that they wrote it. What I remember about comics is that they were the first things I could read on my own, and the first things I wanted to read on my own. They were the first heroes I read that belonged to the world outside the school doors. I remember the adventure, the good-hearted fantasy, the belief that good won out over bad. But what I remember most of all is that they were mine. Stephen King. So, what does it mean to be a hero? What is an origin? Where does the beginning start? Everybody's got a story. Everybody starts somewhere in life. Essentially, we're living out our own story. That's what an origin is. An origin is just the beginning of something, the beginning of a story. And you know, I've always wanted to be a superhero. I'm just gonna put it out there. I've always wanted to be a superhero. I've liked watching them in the movies and reading them in the comics, and just seeing these people and other people that were of the hero genre, or that I saw as my own personal hero, like I am now. Like, my tastes have changed over the time. I look at motivational speakers and bodybuilders. I still look at the characters that I fell in love with when I was a kid, and I think, man, I could just, I want to be just like them. Everybody starts somewhere. Bruce Wayne started somewhere. He wasn't Batman overnight. He started somewhere. Superman, Clark Kent as his hidden identity, started somewhere. After coming to Earth, he had a beginning. Everybody has a beginning. Everybody has a story that they share in life. And to most people, individuals, we are heroes, in a sense. We're heroes to our families, to our friends, to our peer group. They see us as heroes. A few people in my life have seen me as a personal hero, in a sense. I've always wanted to have powers. I've always wanted to be just like Spider-Man. I've always loved the story of Spider-Man. And I've always loved the story of Batman, too. I loved just how he was just a human, and he could just do all these things. It was incredible. I really liked the story of Peter Parker, and just how I was able to relate to his life, because a lot of it was just a lot like mine, and how he dealt with everything from his family to the women that were in his life to the villains to his friends, everything about his life and his circumstance. And I mainly just liked his powers, though, too. I mean, he could make his own web shooters. He was a genius. The villains he went up against were just crazy powerful and crazy, just insane. It was insane that he was just this one guy with a limited amount of power, yet he was able to defeat them in every situation. Not every situation, but I mean, in the sense that he was able to outwit them, with what he had, with his own resources and such. So, his spider sense was phenomenal. I wish I had that. I wish I could climb on the walls and things like that. It was just something that I loved a lot. I've always wanted to be a superhero. I watched this video online by Joe Rogan. He said to be your own hero, or be a hero. And it goes along the lines of this. You have to be the hero of your own story. You can do that. 90% of it is just showing up and to start doing the work. And I believe that. I think you can be your own hero. Have you ever thought about being the hero of your own story, about being the hero of your own movie? Have you ever thought about getting that body that you want, honing in on those skills that you want, writing that book, going to that competition, traveling to that country, speaking to those people? Have you ever thought about doing those kinds of things? 90% of it is just working on it, doing it, setting out a plan and setting out goals to get those things done. And when you start working, you're not going to feel perfect every day, guys. I mean, that's the initial push that you have to get through. You have to push yourself when you're not feeling it, when you're not feeling right, when you're not feeling good. That's what's going to make the difference between you and the other people out there that aren't living their own dreams and living their own lives, that aren't being the heroes in other people's lives. And there really comes in a benefit with that, of having that discipline. And it's the discipline to get things done, no matter what. Even when you're feeling like absolute crap. Like when I was sick, I had to be on my back for about a day because I was wiped out. I mean, that was it. My resources, my limits had been crossed, and I was done. I had to recover. But then the next day, I got up and I went and worked out. I kept it light, but I still did it. I went to the gym. I made up my mind. Feeling like total crap after just having, I'm watching the time, after just having been through the worst ordeal that I could go through this year so far of getting sick. And I just thought, you know what? I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do this year. And I'm going to go and work out. And I'm going to get the body that I want. So once I made that decision, really the hardest part for me, here's an example. The hardest part for me about me going to the gym is just getting there. I just got to get dressed. I got to get myself up and get myself going. Whatever I got to do, whatever I got to drink to get going. And then once I'm there, I'm in my environment. I can take it from there. I just go through the motions essentially because I know what I'm going to do that day and I know how I'm going to do it and what I need to do. I've been keeping track. I have a plan. Essentially, that's what it is. And that's the point that I'm getting at, guys. Write down what you want to do. Write down the things that you want to fix in your life. Write down the things that you've wanted to do for so long, but you never made the steps to take it. Start taking the steps. Start writing out your goals. This did not click for me until I realized that, gotta check the time, that I realized that I wanted to do these things. I had to write them down and I had to be conscious about them. I had to have my lists and I had to update them all the time, like a list. I had to make a list of the things I wanted to do in life and I had to keep track of it. There's another way of doing it. You could journal it too. It's a very unique way, but you're constantly making progress throughout the year. It's almost like having a diary journal, you know. You guys, when you're journaling, you're writing about your day, how things are going. Maybe the journal itself could be you going through your goals. Anyway, the list. The list is the most important because you're writing out specifically what you want to do on that single sheet and you're going down in a column and you're getting those things done. You have to write down your goals if you want to accomplish them. That's how you're going to be your own hero. When you start living out your dreams instead of living out other people's dreams. Like and subscribe, guys. I enjoy your guys' company. I enjoy you guys watching my videos. Stay tuned. I'll have more material for you. I'm going to go out tonight. I'm going to go and have a good time. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.